Millennia ago, in a time when the sun's rays caressed the desert and the stars told cosmic stories, a man named Abraham emerged from the sands of Mesopotamia. Your journey, intertwined with the divine plot, is an epic that transcends the limits of time. Before being known as the father of nations, Abraham was a nomadic shepherd, leading his flocks across the vast territories near the Euphrates River. However, his simple life was redefined by a heavenly calling, an invitation from God to leave everything behind and embark on a journey that would not only shape his destiny but also influence the course of history. Enter now the sands of the past, where the echoes of Abraham's call resonate like divine promises, outlining a narrative marked by unwavering faith, extraordinary miracles, and the forging of a legacy that would echo through the centuries. This is the story of Abraham, a saga that unfolds between the grains of desert sand and the twinkling stars of the sky, where faith and obedience shaped an ordinary man into a revered patriarch. Before God's call transformed his life, Abraham lived as a nomadic shepherd in a region near the Euphrates River. This early phase of his life is often described as a period of simplicity and itinerancy. Abraham, initially known as Abram, was the son of Terah and was part of a community that lived in Ur of the Chaldees, a Sumerian city that flourished in Mesopotamia. In this society, their life was probably centered on pastoral activities, taking care of flocks of sheep and cattle. The culture of the time, around the 19th century BC, was characterized by a nomadic life, where tribes moved in search of pastures and water for their herds. This desert life was challenging, but it provided a deep connection with nature and a direct dependence on God or local deities for sustenance. Before the divine call, Abraham probably lived a family life, following the traditions of his community. Terah, his father, was also mentioned in the scriptures, but the main focus of this period in his life is on the divine call that would change the course of his journey. The biblical story of Abraham, found in the books of Genesis, describes divine intervention when God called Abraham to leave his homeland, his relatives, and his father's house, and go to a land that God would show him. This was the beginning of a significant journey that would shape not only Abraham's life, but also the destiny of a nation. The divine call inaugurated a new phase in his life, marked by promises, challenges and a deeper relationship with the divine. Many years ago, in a faraway land, there lived a man named Abraham. His life was marked by challenges and trials, but his heart was as big as the desert that stretched out before his tent. Abraham, a shepherd, lived in a small camp with his wife, Sarah. Despite their advanced age, the couple had no children. They longed for offspring, but the silence of the heavens seemed to echo in their hearts. One night, under a starry sky, something extraordinary happened. Abraham received a divine message in a dream. A soft, heavenly voice whispered in his ear, telling him to look at the stars and count, if he could, the number of his descendants. Abraham, amazed, contemplated the vast night sky and tried, in vain, to count the stars. The message continued, promising him that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky. At that moment, Abraham felt a mixture of joy and reverence, a divine promise that lit a flame of hope in his heart. Excited, Abraham shared the news with Sarah, and together they anxiously awaited the fulfillment of this divine promise. However, time passed, and the couple remained childless. Doubt and uncertainty began to weigh on Abraham, but his unshakable faith sustained him. Finally, when Abraham had aged considerably, an angel appeared before him. The heavenly messenger announced that despite seemingly impossible circumstances, Sarah would conceive a son. The news was so surprising that Sarah laughed in disbelief, but the angel, with divine serenity, confirmed that nothing is impossible for God. And so, in her prime, Sarah gave birth to a son, Isaac. The baby's cry echoed like a miracle, a divine response to Abraham's tireless faith. The joy that filled the couple's hearts was indescribable. Every laugh, every tear, was an expression of the miracle that had happened. Years passed, and Isaac grew up before his parents' radiant eyes. However, the story of Abraham still had one more impactful chapter. One day, Abraham was called by God to a difficult journey, a supreme test of faith. He was to sacrifice his beloved son Isaac as a gesture of total devotion. Abraham's heart, now the father of a fulfilled promise, was broken by the prospect of losing Isaac. But his faith, once again, prevailed over the pain. With tears in his eyes and a lump in his throat, he led Isaac to the designated place for sacrifice. However, at the crucial moment, when the blade was about to fall, an angel intervened. God, having seen Abraham's unshakable faith, provided a sacrificial lamb instead of Isaac. The relief and gratitude that flooded Abraham were indescribable, a mix of joy, pain and redemption. The story of Abraham is an emotional journey of faith, patience and obedience. His life, marked by divine promises, miracles and supreme tests, continues to inspire generations. In the heart of the desert, where the sun sets over Abraham's tent, echoes of a story that transcends time echo, a story of a man whose faith shaped the destiny of a nation. In the twilight of Abraham's life, when the desert shadows lengthened and the stars bore witness to the legacy he had built, the patriarch looked back with gratitude in his eyes and reverence in his heart. His journey, a symphony of faith and trials, had carved the lines of wisdom into his weary face, but also illuminated his soul with the flames of divine promises fulfilled. Abraham, once a simple shepherd, became the father of many nations, and the desert that had witnessed his tears and laughter now held the footprints of a man who dared to trust the stars and follow the divine melody, even on the darkest nights. As he contemplated the dusty horizon, where the past merged with the future, Abraham found a deep peace. His heart, which had known despair and immeasurable joy, pulsed with the certainty that divine fidelity is manifested in the destinies of the faithful. The stars, silent witnesses of his journey, seemed to whisper stories of a life that surpassed the ordinary, a story that would echo beyond time. Abraham left behind not only a legacy of countless descendants, but a testimony of how faith can rise from the ashes of uncertainty, lighting the way for those who venture into the sands of the unknown. As the last lights of the day flickered over the tent where Abraham rested, his heart, now at peace, echoed words of gratitude for the extraordinary journey he shared with God. For, in every star that dotted the night sky, he saw the promises fulfilled, the miracles performed and the beauty of trust that transcended human limitations. Thus, the story of Abraham does not end, but continues to inspire generations to look to the stars in search of hope, to trust in divine promises even when the desert of life seems barren. In Abraham's legacy, the lessons of faith, patience, and love resonate like an eternal melody, guiding souls thirsty for meaning across the vastness of their own journeys. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving videos every day. Stay with God. This beautiful story of Abraham brings us closer to God. What a beautiful story of Abraham. We will see you in the next story.